Finished my session with Greta, I started looking for you.
Oh, I'm sorry, because I was out of the hospital just for a little bit on a difficult case.
Well, with luck, the case of Greta Powers won't be. And if it turns out that way, it'll be thanks to you.
Me? Really? I don't see how.
Well, I do. But before I tell you why, let me apologize for crashing in on you last night.
Well, I thought you'd done that at the time.
Well, not strongly enough. You realize, of course, I had no idea when I called your exchange and they said you were out to dinner. Well, they didn't tell me you were on a date, or I would never have shown up on your doorstep and broken anything like that.
Well, Dr. Barrett was not going to stay much longer anyway, and you had information that you needed before your session with Greta today, huh?
Right. And I was booked solid all day. Except you didn't exactly walk out smiling.
You know, I think it was the way you put it, that our discussion was privileged information.
Come on, the man's a doctor. When it's between the professional and the professional has to come first. He's got to know that.
He left, didn't he?
Right, he did. So am I forgiven?
All is forgiven.
Good. Because it really paid off in my very first session with the child.
Does that mean that she understands truly, that she's convinced, and she knows that that was a fantasy and that Mike cannot be alive in somebody else's body?
Convinced, no, but on the way to it, yeah, I think so.
Wow.
And you gave me the connection.
Yeah? When I told you about the rag doll and how she mutilated it and thrown it in the cellar?
Well, actually, it was more than the ragdoll incident itself. It was why it ever happened. That was the big connection. You see, she was uptight because the student nurse who had stayed in the guest room before you and died in the fall down the stairs, she would have felt the same way about anyone who stayed in that room. She saw the girl, Julie, fall, lie there unconscious, and a few days later she was told Julie's dead. Left her terrified of death.
Oh, I see. I see. You mean it's death that she's frightened of, and that's why she's got to keep Mike alive.
First, latching on to Robinson Crusoe, surviving alone on a desert island, and then changing her wish dream when she bumped into a man with a limp who happened to have a voice not unlike her brother's. It was a perfect way not to have to confront the reality of Mike's death. And the stranger became one of the 5 sailors who didn't die in the ship's explosion. And Mike, who was blown up, simply entered that man's body.
And will she admit to all of this?
Well, if she did, my job would be done, but no, that big a breakthrough I haven't had yet.
Yet?
Well, if psychiatrists perform miracle cures overnight, a lot of us would be unemployed. But, thanks to you, I have made a giant stride, which I've already told Maggie about. I could never have come this far without you.
Well, I'm very, very glad.
Giving me the privilege, I trust, of calling on your knowledge of Greta and intuition later on.
Please, absolutely, anytime.
I promise I will put some boundaries around any time, like not after you've come back from dinner with a friend, unless that friend turns out to be me. Say, that's not a bad idea, is it?
What's not a bad idea?
Or making an evening of it. I mean, who knows? Little Greta might reap marvelous advantages from things you know about her that you don't even realize you know.
Well.
After all, now, you owe it to me. All those years with John, what could I offer you except civil greetings in the hallways? I was free, but you weren't. Well, that's all different.
Althea, I was told that you've been looking for me. Well, I figured if you were looking for me, that'd be about something pretty important.
It is important. It's urgent, too. I just got back from an unfruitful meeting with Iris Fontaine, and I am more convinced than ever that there is something...
Wait, please, Althea, just a moment, please. Doctor, this is privileged information about a patient that Althea and I have been working on, so please.
Come on, Barrett, you heard her. An unfruitful meeting? Now, what kind of knowledge could come out of that?
Doctor, how are we to determine just what is in it with a third party in the room?
Althea, we still haven't settled.
Oh, yeah, that. Well, that was personal, wasn't it? This is professional. We've got to do the professional
Doctor.
first.
Could you please excuse us?
Right. I'll talk to you later.